Right. Good morning, students. Let's move ahead to the next part of our study. Now, as a part of statistics, it involves number of elements. If you remember its definition, a very integral part of statistics is collection of data. But once the raw data is collected, raw data means whatever data you have collected and you have quite a good store of the same, the data. Important it becomes that it has to be arranged in accordance with certain degree of similarities so that the job becomes easier to do analysis in future, right? Like students, you find out after 10th class all the students of 10th from 4 5 sections come together, but because of their separate interest they are classified into different categories: commerce, science, as such, to make the job easier for understanding, learning, as well as the teaching part. Same is the case with the data. It has to be classified first, and that process of classification basically means putting them into selected categories on the basis of similarities to make the job easier, convenient for further analysis. I hope all of you understood the classification part. Now, what are the various methods of classification? We'll go into it. Let's check it out. First one, geographical classification. Now, in all the four methods, I have taken a common example, the contentious issue which we all are facing, the COVID case. So, I'll explain that COVID-19 as a example to describe various methods of classification as such. Number one, in order to find out number of COVID cases which are prevalent in India right now, right, we can categorize all the cases on the basis of which state do they belong to. So, number one, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and third, MP, right? The maximum cases 1 million, 10 lakh around is in Maharashtra, lesser is in Tamil Nadu, and the least is in MP. Now, whatever the number of COVID cases which we have found, we have arranged them, classified them in the order of states to which these cases belong to. Such type of classification is called as geographical classification. So when you do the classification on the basis of cities, countries as such, right, states, that is called as geographical classification. Moving ahead, look below. The growth rate of our country is definitely going to take a hit because of coronavirus. Growth rate means the rate at which the goods are produced and the economy grows. That is what is reflected in a very important economic term. Now, in the year 1819 financial year, our growth rate was 8%, 1920 5.8%, and 2021, which is the current year, is expected to be the least. 2% is a very optimistic figure. If we can touch around 1%, even that would make for a very good progress for the country. Even that much, that bare minimum. Now, very importantly, if you see students, in this case, the growth rate is expressed from year to year basis, right? So when the data collected is expressed from the on the basis of the time period, right? Like in accountancy, you pass journal entries date wise. Similarly, when the data is expressed year wise as such or month wise, that is called as chronological classification. Am I clear? Moving next one, qualitative classification. Now you know it, students, that worldwide population is suffering, but if you go into it on the basis of gender, you will find male gets affected more in comparison to female. Now that is something, maybe some genetic issues or what, but this study has shown that male are the ones who get more infected because of coronavirus and also suffer drastically thereafter in comparison to females, right? Now here the classification is done on the basis of gender, right? Right, some degree of abstracts as we call it as. So when you express a particular classification on the basis of qualitative features, right, abstract nouns as such, right, example can be a gender, level of intelligence, then we call it as qualitative classification. Last but not the least, quantitative one. Again, coronavirus cases, least found 1% with the age group 0 to 12, more 30%, 12 to 50 years, but maximum it has been found with the people 50 plus age group. Just see the last one. So when you do the classification on the basis of numbers and digits, that is called as quantitative classification. I hope all of you understood it. 4 methods of classification. Thank you.